Classic Resident Evil 2 is back in all its glory, with the game now being made available on the Good Old Games GOG website, which I have covered previously in another video that documents the re-envisioning of these games to be brought to modern platforms, mainly with the PC. But it's just another great way to experience these old classics, but bring them into a modern era, but keeps everything intact from that of the original game, which will appeal to fans both new and old. But you also do have the ability to upgrade various filters and features, which you can change when you load the game up for the first time. You'll be able to manipulate various settings, from having the game full screen to being able to utilise various settings on your graphics cards to get the best out of the experience. And in all honesty, this has been a long time coming, because for years many of us wanted to play these games in the original format, and even with the PC editions, as there was some slight differences compared to the console counterparts with some extra features that you usually wouldn't get. But with that being said, now we have the perfect opportunity to revisit them. So you can head over to the Good Old Games website and you can gain access to the games individually, or you can gather them all together as part of a compilation, which will also allow you to save a few quid along the way. Now, in saying that, as of recording this video, the edition of Resident Evil 3 is still yet to be released, but that won't be for another few months yet. Resident Evil 1 was released previously, and in all honesty, it's fantastic. Plus, with the addition of being able to use an Uzi upon completing the game when you meet certain requirements, gives another diversity in the way of how you can play the game, which you would never have got on consoles. Only on the PC version did you have that extra feature, which was very cool. So with this version, you gain access to a lot of the additional modes, which it does say on the website have been unlocked literally from the start, that you don't have to worry about having to play through the game in its entirety, and you don't need to complete certain objectives like completing the game within a certain time frame in order to unlock them. You can literally just pick it up, play and go, which I think definitely will make it appealing and more approachable to a lot of players. Even for guys like myself that have been playing the game for years, it's just easy just to kind of get stuck into the game, and if you just want to have something even just to pick up and play real quick, even if you want to just play through some of the battle modes or special missions, that you can do that and have a blast. And in fairness, from what I've played of the game so far, it runs fine. While graphically you can bump up the graphics with regards to the settings, the intros themselves still relatively remain the same, but to be honest, that's not really a big deal. Definitely not for me anyway. All I care about is that the game runs and looks half decent, which it does. And it's funny, when you haven't played these games in a while, you forget how good they really are, and they are just as much fun to play now as ever, and they're still as eerie and bring back all of those nostalgic memories that you would have had from playing them over the years. So it's definitely a good time to revisit it. I'll leave a link down in the description so that you can go and get access to the game for yourself. I highly recommend that you do, but I'd even recommend, if you haven't picked up the bundle, I would recommend that you do that, because it will give you access to all 3 games, and like I said, you will be able to save a bit of money on it as well. So not only do you have access to all of the campaigns, you can literally start off playing through either Leon's or Claire's campaign from the start, and then you can play through the special missions with the likes of Hunk and Tofu. But even with the extreme battle that you would have got, say, on the likes of other editions with the likes of the Sega Dreamcast and the Nintendo GameCube, that allowed you to play as other characters, even with Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 1, which had its own distinctive campaign where you had to collect the likes of a number of antiviral bombs in order to complete the mission. So that definitely will prolong the longevity of the experience. Plus, you have access to various galleries and artwork features as well, so that you can see concepts of the game during its development and what they were thinking of during that time, which is really cool. I even remember going back, a brother of mine had Resident Evil 2 on the Dreamcast, and I later got it on the GameCube, and I had a lot of those features, so it was really cool just to go and see all the visuals and all of the ideas of what they were thinking about. So this game does bring that all back. I highly recommend that you try it out. Go over and buy it on the Good Old Games website. It's definitely one of the greatest survival horror games ever created, and to many it's the best of the original 3 games that came out on, say, the original PlayStation and even on the PC back in the day, and quite rightly so, because it has so much to offer, and there's definitely enough here that will keep you playing for quite some time. There's a lot of content in here for sure. But with that being said, there are many more unusual and classic games that we've yet to explore from all of these classic consoles and platforms that many still don't know about, which we will cover in this next video, that will look at even more of these scary ideas and concepts that completely terrorized an entire generation.